I don't actually do New Year's resolutions, but this is close enough. Hey folks, it's Mary, aka MercyTriumphs, and this is my channel, Slow Crochet. For this video, I want to talk to you about my crochet plans and intentions for 2024. I don't actually do New Year's resolutions. I kind of learned a while ago that if I set a resolution and then I fail to keep it, I feel really bad about myself. So for the past several years, I've kind of did this hack in my mind where I don't resolve to do a certain thing. I just resolve to take steps in the direction of the thing that I want to do more of. So for example, taking my vitamins every day. I didn't resolve to take my vitamins every day. I just resolved that I'm going to take my vitamins more often than I did in years past. It's helped me when I don't actually complete things as perfectly as I wish I could, because we're human, right? But if we make our goals a little bit more manageable, then we can feel good about ourselves even if we make progress towards those goals. So with that mentality in the background, what are my crochet 2024 resolution adjacent ideas? What are my intentions for 2024? Overall, I just want to actually do the things that are in my head. You know, there's an ongoing joke that isn't really a joke, that there's a difference between crocheters and knitters and yarn collectors, that they're two kind of separate things. And I put myself more in the category of a crocheter. If I have the yarn, I want to use it. I don't want to just have a huge stash. I want to have projects and things that I get excited about. I love making things. Having a stash means I can always have a project and the new thing and the new thing once I have something completed. I love growing in this craft. And so I do have some projects that I know I want to do this year. If I don't actually complete them, that's okay, but it's yarn that has been set aside for a purpose, and it's saying to me, now is the time to do it. As of right now, the biggest category that I have in my mind is wearables. There are 3 different sweaters that I want to make this year, and I already have the yarn for them. The first sweater is one that I haven't really picked out the pattern yet, but I have this Red Heart Sport, which is, I believe, a DK weight yarn in acrylic. It is the color soft navy, and I have enough of this to make a sweater. I would love to make a nice fitted pullover sweater because that's something that kind of would fill a hole in my wardrobe. So this year, this sweater, this nice navy blue, is definitely on my to crochet list, pattern to be determined. Another wearable is a sweater that I want to make using Lion Brand Respect. So I have this in several different colorways. I have enough to make a sweater, but I have 1 ball or less of all these different colors. So I'm only showing you these 2 now. This is another DK weight yarn, and I think all the colors are just so beautiful together. This was a yarn that when it came out, I got really excited about it, but it was priced really high. And so I just waited and waited until it came down to a price that I was comfortable with, and I think I actually got this from lionbrand.com. I got it in a whole bunch of different colorways. Maybe not every single colorway that it came in, but at least 6 or 7 colors. So I think all of these together are going to make another beautiful sweater, and it'll be a great transitional piece because for me, I don't really like bulky sweaters. I want to be warm, but I don't necessarily like being covered up. So you might often see that I have my sleeves pushed up. I don't know, I just don't necessarily like having things around my wrist or my arms covered unless I'm outside keeping warm against the elements. So something kind of lighter weight is really gonna work for me. And this has been sitting and calling out to me for a while. So I need to do it this year. That's the plan anyway. The third sweater that I'm gonna make this year is gonna be another Christmas sweater. And this one is gonna be a straight up ugly Christmas sweater. I have been acquiring random Christmassy bits and pieces, textures, and colors, mostly in the pink and white and silver colorways of just whatever. And my goal is to put these all together and to make a properly ugly Christmas sweater. I think when I actually make it, it's gonna be hilarious and awesome. In the same way that my Christmas sweater I made this year with the bright neon sleeves is just so over the top that it's good. I wanna do that for another Christmas sweater using the things that I've acquired and kind of picked up along the way. As clashy as those reds are gonna be, I think it's gonna be amazing. I have a pattern picked out, and I think it's already in my Ravelry queue. It's an Alexandra Tavel 2 of Wands pattern, and it's a really straightforward thing because I want the yarn to be able to really be what the focus is on. With all these different textures, whether it's the bumpy yarn or whether it's something that's more of a thick to thin style yarn, I want the textures to be able to take the focus. And if I keep the stitch pattern really simple, then all of these are going to be able to work together and hopefully come up with a really one-of-a-kind, never to be seen again type of sweater. So those are my 3 sweaters that I hope that I will be able to do in 2024. Other than sweaters, there are at least 2 shawls right now that I know I want to make. One of them will be using this cake, which I believe is a Sultan Cotton King cake that I got from my local Yarny thrift store. I have a pattern picked out for this, and since it is 100% cotton, even though it didn't come with a ball band, I think it's gonna be really beautiful. There's a new pattern that I wanna try, and it'll really stretch me with this. So this is one that I hope to do this year. Another shawl that I wanna do this year is a straight up black shawl. I have 3 balls of this Baby Bee Sweet Delight in soft licorice. And so as a DK weight yarn, this is gonna be perfect for a nice shawl. I think I'm gonna do the Catalina shawl, which is another 2 of Wands Alexandra Tavel pattern, which I've actually done 3 or 4 times already. I think this would be my 4th time, but currently in my possession, I don't have it right now, and I don't have a black shawl either. So that's the goal, to do a black Catalina wrap in 2024. I do have one amigurumi project that I definitely want to do this year, and I know that I want to do it because I know who the recipient will be, and so I know that the effort going into this will certainly be appreciated. This project is going to be just perfect. I'm talking about Lenny Cat. So this is a pattern that was free by Hobby, and the designer was Pika Pow. And you can still get this pattern for free. I know several of my friends here on YouTube have done a beautiful Lenny Cat, but I do have the pattern and I have started collecting yarn for him. And definitely in 2024, I know who Lenny is gonna go to. I'm really excited to start working on him. He will be so well received, and I'm excited in advance. And with all the amigurumi that I've learned and grown in, I'm excited to do something at a slightly larger scale and a little bit more complicated. I know Pika Pow is one of Marsha's favorites over at Mimi Makes Keepsakes. This will be my first time using a pattern by that designer, and so I'm really looking forward to it. And also, just look at all the fun little accessories you get to do. You get to do the hat and the scarf and the boots. This is going to be beautiful, and there's so many opportunities for playing with color and playing with textures as well. So I'm really looking forward to doing Lenny the Cat in 2024. There are some general things that I want to move towards in 2024. I definitely want to work more with Tunisian crochet and play with that a little bit more. I definitely want to keep growing, as I said, in my amigurumi skills, my garment making skills. But in general, one of the things I really want to focus on is actually using some of the luxury fibers that I have started to acquire. Again, thank you to my favorite Yarny thrift store that makes this possible. So this is a yarn that is 100% cashmere, and I got it from that thrift store at a pretty good price. So it's not gonna do me any good just sitting on my shelf. I need to actually use some of this. This would be a whole new experience for me. And I don't want them to just sit there. I don't want to just look at them. I want to be able to feel these. I want to be able to own something made by them. And the beautiful thing about more luxury fibers in general is that if you were to go to a store and you find something that's 100% cashmere, it's gonna have a high dollar amount. Mary here. Just wanted to pop on real quick and say that actually, since recording this video, I happened to be shopping at a place I normally wouldn't go, a lot more high end, and I saw for sale a knitted bulky weight sweater made entirely out of cashmere, and it was reduced greatly to maybe $600. And it just made me think, well, first of all, it made me think I wish I had taken the picture so I could show you guys, but it made me think about the fibers that I get to work with and what a joy it is, because the value that we add to these fibers by working with our own two hands, it just takes it to a whole nother level. We're creating pieces of art, and I'm really excited to do more of that here in 2024. You know, it's not wrong to like nice things, is it? Sometimes it's easy to feel a little guilty of treating yourself, but for me, the yarns that I have on my shelf are things that each have either a memory associated with them or designated money set aside to treat myself. And so I don't want them to just sit on my shelf. I want to actually wear them and enjoy them. And that means working with them. So I guess the broader category of that is to make sure in 2024 that as I am crocheting, I'm honoring my own heart. I'm not just crocheting for other people, but I'm actually doing things that I genuinely enjoy. It's a fine balance, isn't it? When you want to be a blessing to others, you want to love others well, but you also need those things that are just going to help fill up your own tank. And so for me, in working with some of these nicer fibers that I've acquired, it's kind of a way of self-care. Self-care in itself is an interesting phenomenon in our culture these days, and I think you can kind of swing too far one way or the other on the pendulum. But for me, when I'm crocheting and I'm working with something beautiful, that is self-care to me. That being said, I'm sure that I will not keep everything that I crochet just because it's made out of beautiful fibers. I'm sure that these will eventually go out to other people, but I will get to enjoy them, but not if I don't work with them. I am going to be doing my blank slate blanket this year, but I'll go into that in another video. But other than that, that's what I have. That's what I'm thinking this year. Not too intense. I don't want to fill up my schedule and make all these commitments. And to be fair, there's a lot of things on YouTube that I'm sure I'm going to participate in. Shannon over at Shannon Talks Yarn, she and I have a lot of ideas going on. And with the way the community is here on YouTube, I'm sure that I'll be collaborating with other people as well. So I'm excited for that too, because I'm having a lot of fun and I hope that y'all are too. What are y'all excited about for 2024? Do you have specific goals that you want to meet, or do you have a direction you want to go in, or are you just excited to start some new projects? Let me know in the comments below, what are you thinking for 2024? Do you even do New Year's resolutions? And if you don't, what do you do instead? I am so curious to find out, because that's one of the beautiful things about this medium, is being able to connect with each other and share ideas and perspectives. Thank you so much to all of my subscribers, old and new. Thank you to everyone who comments and hangs out with me. And thank you just to everyone who has listened all the way this long in the video. I really do appreciate you. And if I'm not your cup of tea, thanks for listening all the way to now. I do appreciate you. And I do hope I'll see you again soon. Bye.